Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Chris Steinacher, President and CEO of the St. Petersburg Area Chamber of Commerce, and right on cue is the thunder. First of all, I want to welcome and thank you all for coming out on a early morning for a ribbon cutting. But we are doing a lot of ribbon cuttings, Mayor, aren't we? And we're having a lot of fun. This city is just embracing each other. We're putting our arms around each other and saying, what can we do? How can we grow? What do you want to contribute in this community? And let's figure out how to do it. So today's just another great example of that, where I really believe what we're celebrating today is the spirit of St. Pete, is folks seeing our community a little differently and adding their touch of love to it in all different ways. And when you take the tour, it may not be right this moment, but when you take the tour, you will see that. You will see we've got some of the world-class top artists in the world that have seen St. Pete a little differently and have shared that with all of us. So, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well. But so that's what the ribbon cuttings are all about. That's why we bring out the big scissors, and we don't run with them, but we do celebrate with them. And before I go much further and steal all his lines, I'd like to introduce one of the leaders that has really created the Renaissance for us, that has given everybody a voice, everybody the spirit that they can be part of it, that he needs them to be part of it. He's my mayor, he's your mayor, Mayor Rick Kriseman.
Thank you, Chris. Good morning, everyone. And while it may be raining outside, the sun is certainly shining on us here today, even though there's a little bit of rain. But, you know, this is what we're here for today, and this tour, walking tour of the murals of the city, is really what this city is about. And the growth, the explosion, the vibe, every positive thing that has happened in this city has happened because of the arts. And it's the energy that comes with a project like this. It's the energy that comes in a place like this that really is what attracts people to this community. It's why young people want to live here in St. Pete, and in particular in downtown. It's why businesses want to come here, because they want to come to a place that's not only great to work in, but it's a great place to live and to play. And that's what this community is all about. So I'm thrilled to be here today. Even if it's raining a little bit, we're still looking forward to seeing the incredible, talented work that's been done and that is alive and breathing on these buildings. And what a great day it is here in St. Pete. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And so we have some of the artists too, but do you actually remember when you were a kid that you actually used to like to go out and play in the rain? And now for some reason we're scared of it, but I'm hoping some of you take the tour, but to get a taste of the tour and understand it better and to help us understand who really helped us organize this today, I'd like to introduce someone who's brought spirit to this corner. Look at all the art and crafts around us and just the pure spirit of knowing what St. Pete's all about. And I know you know her. Let me introduce Diane to you, please.
Hi, I'm Diane Shelley, and with some of the others, with Wayne Atherholt on from the Morian and Sarah Stonecipher, with Miss Red on the 600 block, we got together one day and decided we really needed to define where we were and begin to create it as a destination. And so that's how the Central Arts District started. The wonderful thing is that we saw the artists just because they needed a wall and they just can't contain the creativity, began to paint, particularly in the alleys of the 600 block. And then it's just spread around the Morian, down the block, across the street. And it finally kind of hit that tipping point where we needed to share what was going on and tell the backstories of all the murals. And so this project is not necessarily Florida Craftsman, it's more the Central Arts District just branding itself as a destination for the city. One of the great things about the mural tour is not only to share the art, but also to share with visitors what businesses we have here. so it's very much a business-oriented move as well. We have some great entrepreneurs in these few blocks who have really staked their claim and are making this a fabulous destination. So we like to point those out, and that'll be part of the tour. What do we want to do the ribbon cutting and then have the artist talk us through a tour, or you want to do the artist?
Let's introduce our artist too.
I'm so glad that they stayed up. They did not go to bed and get up early. They paint through the night. So we do have some artists here, and before I hand it off to a few of the artists, I would like to do one shout out. As we have this beautiful back of our building, which needed some help because the city has a graffiti removal program. And what they do is within a blink of an eye, as soon as you see someone go and tag a building or a doorway or whatever, the city's crew comes out and takes whatever color, sort of neutral color paint, and paints a big rectangle over the tagging. Well, we have a dark building, so on the back, we had a fire escape that had every manner of neutral colored squares all up and down the fire escape. So the original thought was, let's put a mural on the back because it's proven that it gets rid of tagging and the type of graffiti that we're not looking for. And so we were thinking just something that encouraged just the fire escape. Well, fortunately, we had some artists with some vision who said, but boy, we'd love to do the whole back of the building, which was a little bit more money than we could handle. Regions Bank stepped up, and Stacia is here from our neighbor across the street. They have been fabulous partners in the arts community, and they stepped up and helped us make it happen. So a nod to Regions Bank and all the businesses that support us. So I'd like to introduce two of the artists that did this mural, and then we have a third artist that's here that I would like to introduce and have them just say a few words about what it takes to create these. We have Derek Donnelly and Sebastian Coolidge.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm Derek Donnelly. This is Sebastian Coolidge.
How are you?
Thank you guys for all coming out. Sorry about the weather. Hopefully it'll clear up here shortly. We'll be on our way. But if not, definitely, rebook with Diane or, we'll get you on the tour.
So how do you start a mural? What's the process?
I guess start, first of all, find a wall and a business that's, willing to embrace some change and, want some eyes direct in their, direction. Basically, yeah, we, get business owners permission, and or, the building owner. Sometimes they're just, blank walls that, there's no business at, kind of just abandoned building. And sometimes, that just helps, beautify whatever area, if it is a little rundown in certain places. It definitely helps, visually, throughout the city. And then, we come up with a concept, so a lot of times trying to, design something that will go with the structure of the building or, change the overall environment of, of the structure. Kind of just give you a different feel, like with this one, there's a giant businessman in the back and he's just kind of glaring over you and you feel like someone's almost on top of you when you're standing near it, and with a lot of the murals, like I said, it's really just a matter of trying to take that existing structure and turn it into something beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I think the thing that was most fascinating for us was watching, people will ask, well, did you grid it out or did you project it? And Catherine, can I borrow your script? We have a picture of what our mural started out like. And they actually took about a 25-foot pole or
Yeah, it was a 25,
yeah,
there was a 25-foot pole and then we taped another piece of a pole to that with a roller on it. Just kind of dabbed out the sketch, with white paint.
It's like, here's
yeah,
the
yeah.
tie, and there's an elbow.
Well, generally when we do this stuff, we do draw the building to proportion usually. So we drew the fire escape and, everything was pretty in proportion with the sketch. So at that point, it's really just taking your time and figuring out exactly, where each one of those points are.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. On the tour, you'll see quite a few pieces by each of these artists. Derek did the Wu Memorial that you'll see in the beginning of the 600 block, which honors one of the artists who really was making his statement and unfortunately passed too soon. And that was a wonderful collaboration with a lot of people putting fish on it, so it was over 40 artists that did that. And then also you'll see the coral at the bottom is the hands of children, so that was very cool. Sebastian has made his mark all through this town. In fact, probably one that a lot of us know the best is Freshly Squeezed, which is you want to say a little bit about that concept and how that came about?
That actually came about, that was one of the probably first public murals that I seen that were bigger and more prolific around here. Me and my buddy ran into Gary at Freshly Squeezed, just trying to see what he was trying to open at the shop. He heard that we painted murals, and we actually ended up trading him apparel for that mural. And we weren't doing so well ourselves, and we were like, all right, we needed clothes, and we used house paint that we got from the chemical dump that was all free house paint, and we just painted it ourselves, and I think that kind of started like our whole wave, and then a lot of our friends started painting with us, and
yeah, it's been amazing. Each one teaches the other too, and we went through and we're
Definitely.
gathering information. It's like, well, this one started with them, doing this, working with them, and then they were the principal, and somebody else was training under them. And one of the, it's a very small mural next to the octave on the 600 block. Is Justin is 16. And he did just a small mural,
As
but
a little apprentice,
it's his start,
Yeah.
And Jennifer, I'd like to introduce Jennifer, and then I saw Josh. If you guys want to come up? Come on, you guys, come up. So Jennifer has a bunch on the 600 block. She actually had a studio in the 600 block, so.
Yeah, I started doing murals as it was a lot of fun, and I learned how to do spray paint. And like you said, another artist, Christian Thomas, taught me how to use the spray paint. And I had a gallery, so when I noticed, like when I would put the murals up, that brought a lot of people through the Chryslip Arcade area and into the alley to look at these murals. And if they didn't know they were there, I would give them like a tour and say, hey, come look what else I've done. It's in the back. And people just ate it up. And then I had the gallery for about 3 years, and I ended up closing it to have a baby. But there were people from Naples who would come and just to see the murals in the 600 block alley because they thought this is where art is happening. Mm-hmm. And that was like really, like a neat thing. Mm-hmm. And I talked to the building owner and the manager, Gary Burnside and Tom Gaffney, and they're like, yeah, let's get this going. So like we started the ball rolling, mm-hmm. Whereas before it was like, I don't know if we want that in the back of our alley. And then it was like, this is bringing people to our block. Mm-hmm. This is helping our business, and the door opened. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm thrilled with the paintings. I'm thrilled with these guys and the community of artists we have. There's so many wonderful artists in this town. And I'm just, appreciative of Diane for carrying on with and helping out the artists.
Yeah,
great, and we had 2 more artists walk in. Come on, can you squeeze in here, guys?
What's up, guys?
On the Morian and in other places now, you'll see signs that say, "You are my sunshine." And these are the artists for You Are My Sunshine, as well as others. You want to tell us a little bit about you're doing a little bit of something that caused a stir because people were like, oh, it's words. Is it a sign or is it a mural? But what they're doing is uplifting our city, so.
My name is Jeffrey, and this is Josh. We started painting signs with positive messages, like You Are My Sunshine, Pay It Forward, Grow With Your City. And we just wanted to do something that would make people smile and put a positive note into the world.
That's great, and they're beautifully done. No professional, so be sure that you see those. One on the Morian, one down at the end of the 300 block. 400 block. Where's the one by the
300.
300 block.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so they're great fun, and there's so many more artists that I wish could be here. Chad, who actually did the Sunshine, Mr. Sun. Where's Mr. Sun? Oh, there's Mr. Sun. So Chad is one of our artists who did Mr. Sun, and you'll see his mural on the back along with Twiggy. So if you get a chance, what the tour is, if you want to, well, actually we have little pamphlets where you can pick up how to book a tour. But what we're doing is It's $19 for adults, $11 for 18 to 5-year-olds, under 5 free. We'll do group tours. But those tours put money into a fund for more murals. So that's our purpose there, is to be able to pay some of the artists and the guides to actually go through and take you on a tour, but then also to have a fund which we enrich for further murals. So we have some great walls still left in this district, so stay tuned. In fact, we went to go do a guided tour, kind of a training. We went, oh, there's one that just looked, that wasn't here last week. So we have to be on our toes.
And booking a tour.
Oh, so we'll give you information about how to book a tour, because it's through ESI Food Tours, which there's actually food tours in this city, which if you don't know, that's cool. So she's going to book the food tours and the mural tours. You'll meet here at Florida Craftsman. Right now, we started with Saturdays from 10 to 11:30, which means you can stay in the district for lunch, except on second Saturday when we have an art walk. So let's start at 4 and end at 5:30, and you're right here for the art walk in the district. So, but we'll grow that program, and if you have special tours, if you have company coming in and have a group together that you want to book some tours, we'll give you information today. And it's on our website, as well as stpetmuraltours.com is another website that just went up. So
For those of you watching at home, that's the website on the bottom of your screen right now.
oh. I like
See
that.
there, I didn't know that. All right, well, I'm going to bring the artists up here, and you guys are going to put your hands around this, these golden magic scissors. Don't cut it yet, but just bring it up there. Come on, everybody, get your hands on it. It's good luck. So what you heard about, and before we cut this and while they're posing, what you heard about is something Peter Kageyama talks about in his book, For the Love of Cities, and those are the love notes that these guys are putting around our community, and it allows us to just really embrace our community. So I just want to say how proud I am of all of you, and Diane for helping us organize this, and for everybody who else is stimulated enough to invest in our community. Thank you for what you're doing. And now as we put that ribbon way in there so we get a good cut on it, ready, go. Thank you. Well done. You guys are artists. All right. So please stick around, get to know the artists, get to know what's going on, book a tour, tell your friends to book a tour, and let's tell everybody what St. Pete's all about. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bill Carrera Wu, AKA, was actually a great friend and mentor to a lot of us artists down here, especially on the 600 block. Wu was diagnosed about 7 years ago with brain cancer. Long story short, he beat it. They took out a large part of mass out of his brain. He ended up beating it, against, doctors even said, he wouldn't walk again, wouldn't paint again. Beat all the odds, opened a gallery, and became an integral part of the arts in downtown St. Petersburg. Now this one's brand new. I'm not real sure. From what I heard, the guy's name is Mr. Sister with a C, C-I-S-T-E-R. This next one is a tribute to Frida Kahlo. And this is by Jennifer Koshrek. You guys met Jennifer earlier. It was done in January 2013. This was the one that she did right after she learned how to use the spray paint cans. Basque is known for a lot of his retro, almost advertisement type of style, very drippy, very graphical approach. We have Lizard King. This is one I did a couple months back. It's titled Lizard King. That was actually Jim Morrison's nickname. And I'm not sure if you guys have heard, but he spent a good bit of time here in his teen years. So it's kind of a loose tribute to Jim Morrison and his time spent in the Bay Area. Artists has always been interested in theater art and scenery and seeing the flip sides of them by being backstage, the art behind the art. This one's titled Gretchen's World, also by Jennifer Koshrek. This mural was done in 2 phases. Now the next one we have here is Twiggy. This was designed by Chad Mize of Blue Lucy. Now the St. Petersburg Chamber of Commerce, this is the original St. Pete logo. And actually, before Bass Mural was across the street there, he had one, very similar style, very bright comic book type characters. Yeah, you'll see his stuff all around town. Actually was a great example of how, you take something ugly existing in, right in the middle of something and turn it into something positive and, creative. Now, this wall was designed to be an epic landmark that would allow the traveling bands for the State Theater to locate it. Now, the mural aims to capture the essence of Florida's unique aesthetic and visually illustrates the strong female energy that is said to embody the historic theater. Production assistance was provided by Vitale Brothers, and the entire project was made possible by Sergio Alvarez of the Alvarez Foundation. Now, Tess One is a professional artist whose soccer designs were on the McDonald's Cup during the World Cup.